Welcome back. The White House now weighing new rules that could upend shareholder voting power. An executive order would limit influential proxy advisors and restrict how those index fund giants cast votes on behalf of investors. Executives like Elon Musk and Jamie Dimon have argued in the past that these firms hold too much influence over corporate decisions. Joining me now is global advisor to CEOs and corporate boards, Ram Charan. Ram, it's great to have you this morning.
Thank you. I'm very, very pleased to be here.
Yes, and we want to get your take on what the buzz is in the boardroom these days. But let me start here.
Yes.
Because I spoke with Paul Atkins, the Securities and Exchange Commission chairman,
yes,
just last week, and I asked him about this. Here's what the SEC chairman told me. Watch. Are you including those companies in this address to this shareholder proxy companies' rulings?
We intend to look at the whole process, and so with respect to the institutional investors and those sorts of money managers, they are passive investors, is how they position themselves in the marketplace, and with SEC, with their filings with us, declare that they're passive holders. So where they get out of line, I think, is where they act to try to influence management, and that's just not their role. And so we'll be looking at this entire area and come out with proposals and clarifications and that sort of thing.
So, Ram, just to explain that soundbite, Paul Atkins basically said he's looking at everybody, not just the ISSs of the world, whose main job it is to give, their recommendations to corporate boards, but also Vanguard, BlackRock,
yes,
because they also are like the largest shareholders.
They're intermediary. They're intermediary. So I work for Jamie Dimon. I love him. He's right on this. First part is we must come into the modern age of AI. Jeff Bezos just showed us in 1997 we don't need intermediaries. The whole model is eliminating in-between intermediaries. So this is intermediaries we don't need in the age of AI. And number two is transparency. Have the whole transparency. So these institutions must change, they must be destroyed, and this will have repercussions that we need to manage. So we must do this.
What are the repercussions? Because
repercussions, yes, because the companies have to adjust. The boards have to talk to the people, have to talk to the real people who are creating funds. This is all doable today through the AI, through directly connecting with the shareholders. And the intermediaries' influence is not needed. And that has to be the case. It is a transition to go for transparency and elimination of intermediaries. Jeff Bezos built a $600 billion company with $5 trillion market value by eliminating the intermediaries.
Yeah.
We must modernize.
Go right to the consumers, which Jeff Bezos
you got it.
was.
Personalization is it for shareholders.
Yeah, okay. Ram, I want to get your take on what else the boardroom is talking about.
Yes.
What are CEOs telling you as far as their big worries or assessments of the economy today?
The number one, and they don't talk about in public, they're all afraid, nobody will go on record, is that China has their foot on the throat of American economy.
Bingo.
Those who have the supply chain issue with China, they are struggling, and they know that China at will, President Xi at will, can cut the supply beyond the rare earth elements. I have a comprehensive work to show you that how this is going on with a business model that Mr. Xi runs like a corporation, and that is produce excess capacity equal to 90% of the world demand and hyperscale, cut it, marginal cost plus 20% lower currency. I have all those curves to show you.
Ram, this could not be more important, what you're saying right now. China's aggressive trade moves, they're redefining the geopolitical landscape. They're forcing companies to rethink risk, supply chains, capital flows. President Trump is aware of this. What are corporations supposed to do about it?
Yeah, number one, in that order, they must have a war room and be staffed by people who are on the ground, know the processes, what comes in, what goes in, what are the codes, what codes we are importing, not importing, which ones we depend on. That's number one. Number two, define when their Chinese model is going to be cutting prices. And in that case, they got to work on the industry basis to go to Washington to Mr. Trump, and they find a way to get a 2 to 3 years cover, because if I leave the permitting out, as this Republican, Mr. Westerman said, we can produce all those things within a period of 2 years. We have the skills.
2 years, you think these
We can do that.
Yeah.
India is going to do it. You can have your allies to do this. So there are a number of priorities I have in my coming book in January, that this is what the boardroom people need to do.
What else do you want to see from policy? What do you want to advise President Trump to do?
Yeah.
There was a story in the Wall Street Journal last week that now China is saying we will send the rare earth minerals to some companies, but not any company that's tied to the U.S. military.
That's what I'm saying. They have their foot on our throat. They can stop any sector. So the first thing I've recommended, I've talked to Washington people, I've talked to somebody who reports to President Trump, give him all the details what needs to be done. So the first part for President Trump to protect the 10 industries that Mr. Xi has targeted of the future. Go surgically for each of those. I have a list of those 10.
Okay.
It's public. They destroyed 10 before. I have sent that list. It will get to the key person. I hope he takes it to the president. These are the ones we got to protect.
But, I mean, corporate America still wants to sell to 1.4 billion people, right? I mean, does corporate America get it, that these are national security risks? I know President Trump gets it.
No, I think this is a misunderstanding. I have company names in the book where in China, they create conditions that you begin to lose market share, your unit cost goes up, and you're no longer needed. You stay in China on the mercy of CCP and transfer your technology. I serve on a board of a Chinese company, and I coach the CEO of Baidu and his wife. So I get to see all those 50 companies in China. So people have to realize you are there only to the point you are needed. You will be forced to sell. Starbucks is selling, more to come, and selling at a dirt cheap prices.
Wow.
This is, people don't know, they're not aware. Why? This is very important, Maria. Why we are not aware? Because everybody loves a good quality product at cheapest price.
Yeah.
Those prices are manipulated.
Yeah, a great point. And John Ratcliffe, who is the CIA director now, but when he was in the intelligence infrastructure in Washington and a Texas congressman, he told me very clearly what China's MO is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Rob, replicate, replace.
Yes. Now,
That's it.
But in doing that, every company knows, and I have those companies, where they see the market share of an American or European company declining because of their marginal cost pricing. Soon your market share declines, your unit cost goes up, and you are now in a death spiral.
Yeah.
So the companies are withdrawing. We have a number of names, all listed in the book. You do that.
Final word, what is your best advice to corporations
Yeah, number one.
to fight this?
Number one, the most important, and I like to focus on the board. Do you have the right CEO? And do you have the right supply chain person? I love Sabi Khan of Apple. He just became number 2. There is nobody better who knows the supply chain all over the place.
Well, doesn't he have a lot of supply chains in China right now?
And India. He built India.
Yeah.
So I believe my view is he's going to succeed Tim Cook.
Okay.
And I want President Trump to get one of those guys to create a Department of Manufacturing and Technology in Washington right now.
Right now.
Right now.
That's a good
And
idea.
you pick people like Jeff Wilke of Amazon. He's retired. You pick Tim Cook, he's going to retire in a year.
Yep.
Or you get Sabi Khan to advise you. There's nobody better on the planet who knows all those things.
All right. Gems of advice from the man, Ram Charan. Great to have your thoughts, Ram. Thank you.
Maria, thank you.
Good to see you.
Nice to